If you found yourself on this video, you're probably looking for a property that has high rents, high returns on investment, and high rental yields. You largely get to achieve this sort of thing through HMOs. And in today's video, I'm going to be telling you 9 different things I learned in 2023 about houses in multiple occupation. Hey everyone, it's Johnny Marsden here. Welcome back to the channel. If you're a seasoned watcher of this, then hello. But if you are new here, let me just give you a brief description on me. I've been investing now for well over a decade. I've invested in a lot of different property strategies, from flips to buying and selling land to HMOs, i.e. houses in multiple occupation, rent-to-rent deals, social housing investments. And in today's video, I'm going to be telling you 9 things that I learned in 2023 about houses in multiple occupation and how I'm going to be taking those forward in 2024. Not only am I going to be telling you these 9 key pieces of information that you're going to need to invest in HMOs in 2024, at the end of the video, I'm going to reveal 3 investment areas that I'm going to be concentrating on this year. So make sure you tune in right to the end. Number 1 of 9, something you've probably heard banded around quite a lot, is Article 4. Article 4 is essentially an instruction put into place by councils that removes your permitted development rights to change a C3 dwelling house into a C4 HMO. Normally, you can do this by permitted development, which means you don't have to go through full planning. But with Article 4 in place, you have to go through a full planning application to change a normal dwelling house into a house of multiple occupation. A lot of people actually think because Article 4 is in place that it's nigh on impossible to create a HMO in an Article 4 area. That's just not the case. You've got a lot more hoops to jump through, and there are definitely areas within an Article 4 city or town that you can't create a HMO in because there's already too many built up HMOs in that area. They're not trying to stop HMOs being created, they're just stopping the build up in certain areas. So they want HMOs to be spread out across the city or across the town. And don't get Article 4 confused with a HMO license. A HMO license just shows that you are meeting all the requirements within the property. So fire doors, luminescent strips, smoke alarms out throughout certain rooms, etc, etc. That just shows that you can meet the licensing requirements. And a lot of quote unquote HMOs will have HMO licenses, but they won't actually have the change of use, so the C4 planning, not the C3, the C4 planning for a HMO. It's a bit of a minefield, it can get very confusing, so make sure if you are looking to invest in a HMO in an Article 4 area that your property has C4 planning, not just a HMO license. Number 2, thresholds. Now, thresholds fall in line with Article 4. Councils will put in certain thresholds in Article 4 areas so that there is not a big build-up of houses in multiple occupation or HMOs in those areas. If you want to know more about your area of investment or your council's Article 4 and HMO guidelines, have a look at their local plan or their SPD, and that will give you way more information in terms of what their criteria is, and it should give a lot of good information on thresholds should they put them in. Number 3, achieving a commercial valuation. From what I understand, the best way to achieve a commercial valuation is to make the property into a type of building, basically overdevelop it so it can never be seen or can't be seen as a C3 dwelling house or just a standard HMO. One of the best ways to do that, not the only way, but one of the best ways, is to achieve a different change of use. So as mentioned before, you go from C3 to C4, so dwelling house to house in multiple occupation. The next step up from that would be a sui generis. When you have the sui generis planning, mortgage companies should view that as a commercial premises at that point, because it's really no longer a house. You're investing in that building, and it's a commercial investment. So they will then lend against it as it is a commercial building. One of the ways they will let you borrow against a sui generis that is very sought after is they times the rents you're getting, the annual rent you're getting, by the gross annual yield for that area. And that's how they actually come to the property's valuation, the property's price. And generally, that is higher than what you'll get on the standard open market. Additionally, and as a rule of thumb, but it's not gospel, having that sui generis planning will generally add about 20 grand onto the valuation or onto the price of the property. So achieving that planning for a sui generis property by going from C4 to sui generis and going through the protocol for that, talking to the planning department at your local council, getting a planning consultant on board for yourself and talking to the right architects, etc. to create a sought after 7-bedroom plus HMO. You might also want to consider putting in en suites in every room, so double rooms throughout the house and en suites in every room. If every room has an ensuite, even potentially a 6-bed, it's hard for a valuer to come out and say that this house could just be sold as a normal dwelling house on the open market, because you've created a property with all these en suites that a standard family isn't going to want to buy or to rent or to live in, because standard family homes don't have en suites throughout every single bedroom. However, say you have a 6-bedroom HMO and you don't put in en suites in every room, you just maybe change the living room and the spare reception room into a bedroom by putting in a wardrobe or a bed. A valuer could come out and say, well, you've not really changed the structure or the internals of the room, you've just put in a bed and a cupboard or a wardrobe to make it feel like a bedroom. But a normal family, they could just come in and move the furniture out. If you've got an ensuite, it's a lot harder for the valuer to argue that point. Number 4, following on from having en suites in every single room, something that I've learned is to achieve that and to have a comfortable size of room, to have the ensuite in there and still have a good sized double bedroom. You're going to be looking for rooms that are 12 meters squared. This will allow for an ensuite as well as having a big enough bedroom that your tenants aren't just going to want to leave straight away because they feel all cramped in. It will give them enough room for a desk and a wardrobe, etc. Number 5, continuing the theme for large sui generis HMOs and 7-8 bedrooms plus, particularly for 7 to 8 bedroom HMOs. What you're going to be looking for in terms of size is quite specific. Floor area and internal floor space. To create a large 7 to 8 bedroom HMO is going to have to be 110 square meters as an absolute minimum. This basically allows for 2 bedrooms at the bottom, 3 bedrooms on the first floor, and then another 1 or 2 bedrooms up in the loft. Number 6, as well as the internal floor space, another thing that you're going to have to seriously consider, and as an absolute rule, is the height of each floor. Now, when creating a sui generis 7 to 8 bedroom HMO, as well as the internal floor space, you're also going to be looking for the height of each room. You need to go into the loft to do a conversion, normally a dormer conversion, and the height that you're going to need for every single room once that loft is converted is a minimum of 2.3 meters. So the ground floor, first floor, and the loft conversion will all need to be 2.3 meters in height each, make sure you bear that in mind when you're trying to search or source for property. And to combat that, I would most likely be looking for properties that don't have the conversion and have ground floor and first floor heights of maybe 2.5 meters plus. And this basically allows for any lack of height in the loft that you're looking to convert. It will allow you to lower the floor or ceilings below, so you can create that 2.3 meter height in the loft without losing the 2.3 meter height on the ground and first floor. Number 7, sandwiching a family dwelling or a normal C3 dwelling house. You're not allowed to sandwich a family home or a normal house between two HMOs in an area or with a property that requires planning permission. So this would mean if you're looking to create a sui generis in any council or any location throughout England, and also if you're looking to create just a HMO in an Article 4 area, they will not allow you to basically change a property into a HMO if in the middle there would be a family dwelling. So if there's a HMO here, family dwelling here, and you're looking to create another one next door, you can't sandwich that poor family dwelling house. So make sure you bear that in mind, because the council will not let that run. Number 8, side and rear access. Side and rear access is looked very favourably upon by the council. So if you have a property that has that, it's going to go through maybe a little bit easier, but also it provides a better standard of living for your tenants. So side and or rear access for a HMO, particularly a large HMO, is a definite positive when you're looking to invest. And number 9, last but not least, probably really this is suited for all types of properties, but I would say particularly HMOs, especially when you want to attract a certain type of tenant, maybe a young professional, and you want to keep them there for a long time. Just make sure that your HMO is close to local transport links, local amenities, your local Tesco, Waitrose, Marks and Sparks, Sainsbury's, and potentially gyms, the town centre, so they're not having to drive into too many places. Everything is in a walkable distance, just creating an easier life for your tenant. And finally, I did promise that I am going to reveal my 3 investment areas for 2024. So if you want to copy me, go for it. I would say that if you're new to property, maybe just choose one area and really hone in on that. I've invested now for a long time, like 10 plus years. So, and all these areas I've invested in before, so I know them quite well. They all have Article 4 direction. So please make sure if you're going to go to these areas, make sure you get in touch with your local council if you can, and have a look at their local plan, particularly their criteria around HMOs and Article 4, because everyone will be slightly different. So big drum roll. The 3 areas that I'm going to be concentrating on this year are Southampton, Portsmouth and Gloucester. Feel free to copy away. We're going to be going head on with each other if you're looking to develop big, larger 7 to 8 bedroom HMOs in those areas. And if you're looking to get involved in these sorts of projects, but you don't want to do this yourself and you want some help in doing so, all my details are below. Just get in touch. We can book in a free, no obligation 20-minute phone call just to work out whether or not we can actually work together and if I can help you achieve your goals. And fingers crossed, we can make some money in property together. All right, that's it for another video. Hopefully you took some massive value from this. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Also hit the bell notification to be alerted as soon as I make another video. Particularly comment, because I have learned a lot myself and I love interacting with you guys and finding out more, but also helping in any way that I can. And as I've said, if you're looking to get involved in these sorts of projects, but you don't have the time or the experience or both, you can get in touch with me on the details below. I'll see you in the next video.